Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, and I absolutely hate Mondays. Oh my God, I gotta go back to work. But anyway, if you go back into my older videos, I do a lot of blue collar budgeting and week to week budgeting. But today, I kind of wanted to touch on that for my Monday miscellaneous. I kind of wanted to just recap a little bit. A lot of us do live week to week, check to check. But if you're spending everything check to check, you need to reevaluate what you're spending that money on. I know that things are tough. I know that, life is really rough, especially on a blue collar budget. Um, for example, a 40-hour week for myself, I bring home about $377 and change. That's it. Um, but every week I start my balance off in my checkbook at zero. The $77 and change goes to the other side of the other side of my checkbook. I would love to show you my checkbook thing, but I will do that on a different one. Thanks to Amy at Freaking Frugal, she is awesome with the checkbook. I wish she had that video easy for me to link down and below, but I don't even know how to link things. So anyway, um, so I start with a zero balance in my checkbook. Whatever was left over, whether it be $2 or $40, it goes over to the other side and it's no longer in play for the next week. And that's how I save money. Um, so we start off with $300 and I pay my bills. The bills that have to be paid before the next check comes in. Whatever's due has to go. And normally that's between 150 200 bucks a week I spend in bills. And you're like, wow, that don't take very much. Now, here's the thing. When I was really, really struggling, I was budgeting myself $25 a week for groceries. And I still do that occasionally. I can go through my freezer, I can go through my refrigerator, I can go through my pantry. I can figure out meals from that and what I need to add to it. Um, I break it down 12.50 for meat and protein, and that includes my milk, eggs, and cheese, as well as my meats for the week. I will make sure that I get enough meat that I can make meals that will last two meals, one for the night, one for a leftover, and then I'll pop something in the freezer for a lunch. I do 6.25 for vegetables and fruit. I look through the fresh reduced first. Then I go to my frozen section and see what I can get, and then I go to canned. So fresh, frozen, canned. That's my whole thing. And I love that Kroger has the reduced produce. I grab zucchinis, I grab squash. I can fry those up, make a side dish with them. My husband really don't care for it, but I don't really care. One week I might buy a bag of potatoes. The next week I might buy a bag of onions. And then I have those, and I don't have to buy them every week. Then I do $6.25 of miscellaneous. Now, this is if you need coffee, tea, paper products, cleaning products, personal care products, and those are things that you don't have to buy every week. We are only buying for 7 days, okay? 7 days. That's it. From Friday to Friday. That's all we're buying for. So for $25, you can actually find quite a bit to feed your family and to make sure you have those little extra things for $25 for 7 days. If you run out, well, that's where if you have a little bit of extra, you can, you know, get what you need. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I did not buy name brand toilet paper when I was budgeting really, really hard. I was buying that 79-cent Kroger 4 pack, and my husband hated it. He's spoiled now. And I told him one day, I said, listen, when I start budgeting us really, really tight again, which is coming up, I mean, it's coming up to probably next month where I'm going to really put a halt on the spending and, get back to the basics of my week to week budgeting. But he's spoiled with toilet paper right now, but it's not going to last long. So I'm about ready to start buying the other and leaving what I have up in my stockpile. He's just going to have to get over it. He will hate it. Um, but also that 6.25 if you need cleaners, personal items, or extra meat. or extra side dishes, you've got that 625. If you divide your money up and kind of put guidelines for your spending, it really does help. $25 at the grocery store, period. $12.50 for meat and protein, $6.25 for fruits and vegetables, $6.25 for miscellaneous. And that's how I've done it. And yes, you can feed a family for $25 a week. And say you don't need any miscellaneouses, put it into getting extra side dishes to hold rice, potatoes, instant potatoes, or easy things like hamburger helper. Like say they have what, four for $2. Grab four of those, spend that $2 out of your miscellaneous, and then when you get your ground beef or your chicken or your tuna or whatever it is that you decide that you want, you've got that in the cabinet already, and all you need is that can of tuna or that little pound of ground beef. And I'm going to tell you right now, I buy the rolls of ground beef at the store, and a lot of people, well, I don't want to buy beef, I can't see. Well, I'm going to tell you what, those rolls of beef are absolutely great. And if you do happen to buy an extra one, say you find one that has a reduced sticker on it, throw it in the freezer. Those rolls plastic is awesome for freezing for later. And now for us, a 3 pound roll, that's that's 3 meals. Because you use about a pound of ground beef for tacos or for hamburger helper or for cheeseburgers, you know. So that's 3 meals for us. I'm just saying. So, you know, if you have 4 to 6 people in your family, obviously you're going to really, really try to think of easy ways to do this. And a dozen of eggs, what, $2? A dozen of eggs will make an omelet meal or scrambled egg meal for night at one point in time. So you can always add some extra stuff to it and have scrambled eggs and toast. Maybe some oatmeal on the side. Have a breakfast night. If you are buying rolled cigarettes, pre-rolled packed cigarettes, and you are a smoker, you need to rethink that. Because that is a huge, huge economic cut. If you are buying fast food or if you're buying lunches at work every week, that adds up to an unbelievable amount of money. If you are buying soda pops out of vending machines or at work, you are really, really spending too much. Kroger always has some sort of sale on their 6 packs of bottles. Grab those instead. Put that as your miscellaneous for the week. You know, um, I just think that people need to cut their spending and kind of focus on what they're spending it on. You know, food is a necessity. We like it, we love it, but it's not a luxury. It's just not. And it shouldn't be a luxury unless you can afford it. When you're working on the week to week budget, you are working for meals that feed your family, that are nutritious, and things that you can possibly utilize for lunch. That's what I do. 7 days, that's all you need to worry with. 7 days. You know, when you're living week to week, budget for 7 days. How much gas do you need in your car for 7 days? How much food do you need for 7 days? How many rolls of toilet paper do you need for 7 days? Cut it down to a 7 day purchase only. And I recommend that. That way, at the end of the week, if you have money left, you put that away. And you start your next week at a zero balance with your new check. You will be surprised how much you can save. Now, I wrote all of this down in green, but I'm not sure if you can see it. My black marker was out. But, you know, number one, you want to pay your bills. Number two, fuel for your car. And number three, your groceries and your miscellaneous needs. It's very important. Now, what I used to do is put $60 into an envelope, and I've kind of come out of that a little bit, but I think I'm going to go back and really try to hone in my spending again. But since I have the side hustle, I've kind of allowed myself a little more leeway with spending. But I think it's time to really pull it back in before, you know, July, mid year. I really want to hone in again and see if I can double what I have in my farm account. Now, I think it's very important to have different savings accounts. I think it's so important to have a checking account, because a checking account, you are accountable. You have to write them, you have to work with the numbers, and you're more visual, tactile with your checkbook. And I think that really cuts people from spending a lot rather than just taking a card and using your card. Um, there's just so many ways to cut your bills. And obviously, try to cut your electric bill down a little bit. Don't use as much electric. Watch keeping lights on. Watch those, what is it, electric vampires? Those little things that beep and show numbers. Unplug those things, like your microwave. You don't need that plugged in. Just saying. So I hope this is a good start, and I just want you to know that I am going to go back to my ways of budgeting very, very soon. So week to week, only purchase for 7 days. That's my biggest thing. Only purchase for 7 days. Meal plan. Meal planning is fantastic. So you all have a great day. Bye.